June 2022, and President Biden. This is Alan with Quarter Horse Arms, and what I'm talking about is President Biden's gun safety legislation, which amounted to, I think it was titled 21 Executive Actions to Reduce Gun Violence. And, within the scope of these things, some of them are not too bad. Some of them are innocuous. Some of them are contentious. And, he involved the Justice Department, Veterans Administration, Department of Health and Human Services, among others. And, within the scope of these 21 things, and I'm not going to list them all, I'm going to list a chunk of them. The innocuous ones would be things like helping get jobs for teens. Attempt to get them off the street, give them money. Not a bad thing at all. 1,000 more police. Okay, more police are typically a good thing. If somebody is attempting to, say break into my house or commit a crime against me, and I call 911, I would like the police to show up and be able to do something about it. Definitely a good thing, but thinking about the size of the country, 1,000 is a drop in the bucket. He also included, which I think are called CVIs, Community Violence Intervention Programs, helping educate communities and attempt to make them safer, firearm safety programs. I think the one involving the Veterans Administration and how they got into this one is beyond me, but advertisements to show how gun locks are effective. Okay. I don't know very many people that use them. Every time you buy a gun, it's supposed to come with one. And then the three really contentious ones of the bunch would be ghost guns and, pistol braces. So this is where the Justice Department got thrown into it. And, they were tasked with creating laws to curb this. Only the Justice Department really doesn't get to make laws. And that's actually coming under fire these days. As far as the pistol brace rule goes, I think half the states, actually it's more than half the states, as of this podcast, which is February 26, 2023, and it's coming under fire, even with the amnesty program, meaning you get to convert your AR or AK pistol into an SBR. Personal note, I think it makes the weapon more adaptable, but that's just me. And the final one would be the ERPOs, the Extreme Risk Protection Orders. And again, those are also coming under fire because just through the sheer lack of due process. And in... out of all the states that have enacted ERPOs, the one that was the first to overturn its use was New York, which is the state that has one of the highest or greatest number of gun control laws and policies in place. And so if they can overturn it, it kind of begs the question of, are they really legal? On a personal note, I have mixed feelings about it. One, obviously, if somebody is a danger to themselves or to others, it makes sense. On the other hand, with not having any due process, it means that you lose your right to keep and bear arms. And in several states, you actually have to provide more documentation to request the gun back than the receipts that you were given by the police when they confiscated the guns, which is also unfair. I mean, they're taking your property and then you kind of have to beg to get it back. And the whole concept of executive orders, came under fire with President Trump. And, he was not way out of line with the number of executive orders. And President Biden, just from the sheer numbers of them, is also not out of line with the number that have been written. In fact, there have been other presidents who've written quite a bit more. Now, we're going to go, hey, an executive order means the president gets to make it a law. No, not really. The president gets to try and use the executive branch to strong-arm the other branches of the government to do what he wants, or she wants, at some point in time. So, keeping that in mind, is an executive order something that has to be followed? Well, it's got to be well defined. You can't just say end gun violence. It doesn't work. Or we're going to repeal the Second Amendment. In other words, you can't go after civil rights or constitutional rights. You can try it. But here's the thing. An executive order can be overturned. And who gets to do it? Well, right off the top is Congress. Now, it gets weird because Congress could pass a resolution or a law that overturns it, and then the president could veto the act that Congress is doing, and then Congress would have to overturn the veto. So you're talking about a bunch of votes. And, in point of fact, that not all of the executive orders with all of the presidents, including our current one and the previous one, were necessarily the brightest things on the planet. But they couldn't get them overturned. Even with a hostile Congress, they could not overturn the executive orders. So if that's not the best way to go, how else can you do it? Well, Supreme Court. So if the Supreme Court determines that it is unconstitutional, that's the fastest and simplest way to do it. But you have to get it to the Supreme Court first. And you're probably wondering, well, if it's June in 2022 when he came up with it, and now in February 2023, why am I bringing it up? Well, the reason I brought it up was primarily that several of the key components of this bill or his executive orders are under fire. And a lot of them are being challenged reasonably successfully, or they have a fairly high chance of success. Some of the other ones, we're talking about billions of dollars. Now, I guess in trillions of dollar budget, it may not mean a whole lot. But if you're creating something because it looks good, doesn't mean it is good. So I'd like to think that, if Congress or a state legislature or even a president with executive order makes them, I think I'd like them to be smart and well thought out. However, that's not normally the case in, the examples I've just cited with all this stuff. Case in point, why would you get the Veterans Administration involved in gun locks? Law says you already have to provide one, so if you sell a new gun, it's in the box. That's required. If you sell a used gun, you're supposed to give them one if it doesn't have one. Does that make gun locks good? No, not really. Can they be beaten? Yeah, fairly simply, but it looks good. Firearm safety programs. Yeah, that's a good thing. Maybe Alec Baldwin should have taken one before he started playing with guns. Okay. At any rate, I look forward to hearing comments, questions, ideas for other podcasts. You can call or text to 919-808-6480. You can email to info@quarterhorsearms.com. You can check out our website at quarterhorsearms.com. And this is Alan with Quarter Horse Arms in Snow Camp, North Carolina. You folks be good out there.